Oh, yay!
You're hooked up. You're hooked up. You're hooked up.
So I am here with Miss Maureen. Noreen.
Noreen
I've been
Lyman.
calling you Maureen for
That's
some
okay. That's
reason.
okay.
But I've heard Noreen when I heard you call, and I'm like, am I having it? Anyway.
Noreen
And
Lyman. Yes.
you belong to the Halo,
Human Animal League of Oklahoma, animal assisted pet therapy group.
Yes. And so I actually, again, most of the interviews are individuals that I know or a referral from someone fantastic to another individual that's very fantastic. And so I met you while doing the middle of Stephen Lee's interview, the director of the YMCA, and he referred me to you as well as Crystal. And so I really fell in love with Emmy, who is over here, and I'm excited that I got to meet Gus. But I don't really know a lot about the nonprofit.
Our group.
And definitely want to give you the opportunity to share with the Tinker Air Force Base community and the Midwest City community on what the group is all about.
Well, Halo is a nonprofit. Our director is Terry Smith, and she founded Halo approximately 9 years ago.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And we are a animal assisted comfort group. Our dogs are not service dogs. They are not they're not emotional support dogs. They are therapy dogs, certified, evaluated, and certified therapy dogs. We take the dogs to certain places. And by being a certified pet therapy dog, we are insured, and the dogs have to go through training, evaluations, testing to become these dogs to visit people. And we go to various venues: hospitals, schools, libraries, memory care centers, the Military Welcoming Center. We met you. We also do go to the terminal to comfort travelers.
Oh, wow.
That are, if you're afraid to fly, or if you've got little kids, or you're missing your own pet. So that's one of the areas that we go. We have more areas than we have approximately 60 handlers.
Oh, wow.
And all kinds of dogs, all sizes, all breeds. And we go to so many different places that honestly sometimes there's not enough of us to go around, because pet therapy is becoming so popular.
Yes.
The science behind it relieves stress, raises endorphins, calms people down. I take my dogs to hospitals. They do end-of-life visits. They sit with patients that are receiving cancer treatment. A lot of pet therapy handlers take their dogs as part of therapy for school kids, for children that have been abused. I mean, there's just, like I said, there's so many places that we get requests for adoption events here in the city.
Wow.
To help with foster kids, hopefully get into the process of being adopted. We do that event also. There's just at the library they do reading to the dogs, which is so cute. And the kids will get a book, and they'll hold the book and show the kids and the dogs. And but there's just more events and more places than we can commit to almost.
As you're saying that, as I'm in school right now, and I know that that's definitely something that I know we've actually talked about, is how amazing having that care, and it is for children of trauma.
Right.
And that's just amazing.
We also go to UCO during the school year, and that is strictly to give love and comfort to the kids that are stressed out. If you're away from home for the first time, you're missing your family, you're missing your pet. It's just a stressful environment being in college for the first time. They also use this during finals week.
Oh, wow.
And we go to OU, we go to, like I said, UCO. And it just really makes a big difference with the kids. I wish you could see when we get there. The kids are laying on the floor with the dogs. They're taking selfies. I mean, it's hilarious. And we keep getting asked to come back over, because the input has been so positive from the students, from the instructors, from the guidance counselors at the schools. We also are asked to participate in events for instance, the tornado in Moore.
Oh,
We were asked to be there for a calming effect on that. If there's a tragedy at a school, and we've had that happen a couple of times where a
right.
student has passed away, we have been asked to come to be there just to give comfort to the student body
amazing.
because they're missing their classmate
Right.
and they're stressed. So we do events like that too. I
That
mean,
is
like I
phenomenal.
said, many events, more than we can cover.
Wow.
So, and it's all volunteer work. Everyone does it on their own time, and you can go to as much or as little as you want. My husband and I are both retired, so we tend to commit to a lot of places because we've got the time to do it.
And husband was in the Air
Yes,
Force, guys.
Yes,
military.
and he enjoys working with the veterans. And but he does hospital visits too. He goes with me to UCO to the students. He loves talking to all the students. But it's a very, I can only say I've been doing it now for approximately 7 years, almost 7
Oh
years.
wow! So most of the time that it's been going.
Oh, almost. And I've had three therapy dogs total. One has passed away. And the outpouring that I got from the places that we visited when he passed away was incredible because they loved and missed him so much. So we, like I said, we just go to so many places, but I've been doing it now for almost 7 years, and I can honestly say that it's probably the most rewarding thing I've ever done.
That's fantastic.
I love it. I just love it. You see a lot of good that has come out of it.
Right.
A lot.
Oh,
A lot.
I've been so
We
blessed.
could, I could tell you stories. And all the handlers are this way. Honestly, we could tell you stories of things we've seen and witnessed that if you hadn't have been there yourself, you wouldn't have believed it.
Well, I want a story. Give me one, like the one that's just like, it's so fantastical. If you hadn't witnessed it yourself, it would have been hard to believe.
Well, there's a lot. One that stands out in my mind is we were visiting a little boy at a facility that had been very abused. Unbelievable. And as a parent, it's really hard for me to understand how someone could do that to a child. And this child wouldn't talk to anybody. He was scared of adults for good reason.
Right.
Didn't trust them. Was very, very fearful. Wouldn't talk to anybody. Would not open up. Wouldn't talk. And the counselors needed to get some information from him, but he wouldn't talk. He thought everybody was bad.
Oh.
If they were an adult, they were bad. So I took my dog in and went several times, and he could tell he liked dogs. And so my dog kept going to him, just singling him out and going to him. And I just let my dog go to him. I didn't even have him on. I took him off the leash and just let him curl up in his lap, and he was cuddling him. And at one point we heard him say my dog's name, and his name was Murphy. He said, "Murphy, if you'll be my best friend, I'll never let anybody hurt you."
Oh.
And after that, we would go back, and the counselor would ask questions, and he would tell the answer to Murphy, and the counselor would get the information that she would need for her, the things that they needed for documentation and stuff. But that little child eventually opened up and became less fearful. And
Right.
But people trust animals.
Right.
They're not judgmental. They're
Right.
not
They're not fake.
they're not. They don't see race,
Yep.
wealth, nothing.
Anything.
Your job. They don't
Doesn't
know.
matter.
You're just a person, and they want to be with you.
Right.
And that's what my dog saw in this. He just knew that this little boy needed him, and he just went to him. And that is not the only time that's ever happened. I mean, like I said, you could ask every handler that's in our organization, and I'm very sure other pet therapy organizations as well, not just Halo, but they've witnessed that kind of event.
I believe it.
You know,
I
it
have
really,
no doubt.
it gets you. So that's why it is so rewarding, you know.
Because you get to see.
You do.
Right. You get to
do.
see that change in
You
other
do.
people's
You
lives
do.
immediately, and especially
And you know,
young.
there are days sometimes when you're like, oh, I really don't want to go today. I'm tired. Or maybe you're not feeling good yourself or something. And that'll be the very day you go and
it's-
something really special happens.
That-
So,
that making it, where the realization that it's as much as we want life to be about ourselves,
Yeah,
it's really
yeah,
not. It's
yeah.
about serving
So
and doing for others.
these animals really do serve a purpose every time they go, and it's just amazing. It's amazing. So I'm very blessed to be in this program, and very grateful that the institutions we go to love
so
having the
receptive.
dogs. And I mean, they love they have us there 24/7 if they could. But they get it. They understand, what good the dogs do. Not only for just like at a hospital, for instance, not only for patients and their families, but staff too.
Right.
They're under a
Right.
lot of stress.
Right. Yes.
And so we're there as much for them as we are for the patients and their family.
Everybody.
So yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, what got you into it? What made you decide to do that?
My background, I worked, was an interior designer at one of the major hospitals here in town. I was their interior designer.
It makes
and-
sense. The house is beautiful.
Oh, thanks. And I would see service dogs or therapy dogs. I'd see more service dogs in there, but occasionally I saw a therapy dog, excuse me. And I started kind of doing a little bit of research, and the first dog, I'm hooked on Bernese Mountain Dogs, which is the breed Emmy and Gus are. My first girl, I wanted to do pet therapy with her. She couldn't pass. She loved everybody too much, and a little too excited. You can't have a big 135-pound dog jumping on you. So we got another dog named Murphy, the one I was telling you about, and he was amazing. He was meant to be a therapy dog. Gentle, laid back, an old soul in a young body, and I mean, he really was. Very intuitive. He knew just who to go to. He really did. And so I started doing it on a part-time basis, and then when I retired, I started doing it full-time. And then I coerced my husband into doing it too, and he retired. And we both enjoy it a lot, and it's been a lot of fun, and I hope we can continue to do it, as long as we're able. And I just can't say enough positive things about the program. It's I highly encourage everybody, if they've got the dog that has the right temperament, and they're willing to put in the time and the effort and the energy. It's a lot of hours and a lot of training. You got to train your dog first.
How long is the training?
Well, the training is average. The average class is 6 weeks long.
Okay.
I put my dog through all levels of training, from beginning, intermediate, advanced, and the Canine Good Citizen.
Okay.
Now, you don't have to do all that. You have to do at least basic obedience, and then we strongly urge you to get the Canine Good Citizen test. But you have to have at least those. I just like to go ahead and take all the levels, and because I have big dogs, and anyway, and then you apply to a certified pet therapy group.
Okay.
Fill out the application. They do the background check on you. The whole 9 yards on that, and then you and your dog get evaluated.
Oh wow.
And I'm an evaluator, and you go through an evaluation. We're looking for temperament, obedience. We also are testing the owner too. I mean, it's
See
not
what
just
they're
the
gonna- right.
dog. And then you go, if you pass that, then you go on to what they call a field evaluation. And a field evaluation is actually at a facility somewhere, like a nursing home or something like that. The initial evaluation, the first one that I do, is at Lowe's on Memorial here in Oklahoma City. And we take you through the steps there, and it's a good place to have it because there's a lot of smells, a lot of people,
Different things, right.
different things, distractions. So if you pass that, then you'll do the field evaluation. If you pass the field evaluation, then you're good. You get your vest, you get your name tags, you get your insurance, and then once a year, you and your dog are reevaluated.
Oh, wow.
Just to make sure that
Then
you're
nobody-
on track, that you and your dog are still, a
Doing
good
things the right
temperament,
way, right.
and things like that. But so once a year, everyone has to do it.
Okay.
Everyone. And which is a good thing.
Yeah, it is.
And
It's a very
it just
good
makes
thing.
sure that our organization stays professional.
Right.
And
that
and
they're
stuff.
actually providing the
Right,
therapy
right.
that we say that
Because
they're going to provide.
when you get into the public, sometimes you never know what you're going to run into.
Right.
There's can be unexpected surprises.
Every corner.
Yeah. And so that's one of the things we teach is when you go into a room or a facility, wherever, you scope the room, you check out, and you make sure that you're entering into a good environment, a safe environment for both you and your dog. If you ever feel that you're not comfortable, you're your dog's advocate. You have the right to leave.
Remove them from there.
Absolutely.
Oh, wow.
So,
It's fantastic. I mean, we definitely got an in here because you are an evaluator, so
Yeah.
having to see so much or learn so much. What would you say to someone who's watching this going, I really want to do that, but I don't know if my dog has the right temperament?
well, I would say that first of all, you do kind of have to know your dog. You know, if he's a jumper or aggressive or fearful, probably not.
Okay.
But again, that's where training comes in, because a lot of dogs, maybe they're just young. Oh, and that's the other thing. We cannot certify a dog until they're at least a year old. So you would hope that you would be in sync with your dog, and you would say, well, they're too young, he's too young, she's too young. We need to wait till a little more maturity, their brain matures. But I, again, highly recommend the training, because if you have certain issues with your dog, if they have some bad behavior, hopefully
get that rid
with
of it
training you
anyway.
could work it out.
Right.
And then, like I said, you apply to I would recommend you don't do it till you feel pretty sure and comfortable. And of course you're going to be nervous, and stuff. But if you have real serious concerns, you might want to wait and get with a little more training, even have private lessons with a trainer come to your home or something like that. But we're just looking for easygoing dogs, not fearful, not aggressive, and that are well behaved. And not afraid of crowds, because a lot of times you get crowds.
Right.
You get a lot of kids rushing you. Sometimes loud noises.
Right.
A lot of unexpected things can happen when you're doing pet therapy with a dog.
Okay.
I mean, they really can. We've seen some crazy things. And luckily, your dogs are like, I'm good
Whatever.
with this. Whatever.
It's fine.
I'm good. Don't worry. Don't stress. So.
Oh, that's fantastic. It really is. No, I feel like I want to ask every question under the moon, and I don't want to miss anything. What is really the difference between a therapy dog and a service dog?
Okay. Good question. A service dog is trained for one person for a very specific need that person has. They are not for comfort assistance to a group of people. A therapy dog is. We're there for multiple people. A service dog, again,
It's for
one
one
person
person.
and a specific need, whether it be hearing, sight, movement issues, whatever.
Which is typically why they're not
And you're
allowed
not
to be pet.
You don't touch them. You
and-
don't interrupt, because they're working.
Right.
They're working. So that therein lies the big difference. People are welcome to pet our dogs, but we do teach them to approach the dogs in an appropriate manner. No jumping on them, no running up screaming. Well, it happens.
Oh, goodness.
And so it's our job to educate little kids, whatever, their proper way to approach a dog.
Okay.
Because there is a right way and there's a wrong way. And a dog's a dog.
Right.
And anything can
No matter
happen.
how
I don't
much
care how
training.
exactly things can happen. So that's another thing why when you go into a facility, you're watching, you're making sure that you're aware of, okay, here's little kids coming.
This could be
Someone's
something I need
walking
to-
in with a dog, not a well-trained dog,
Right.
that kind of thing. So you have to be aware of what's going on.
Wow. This was such a wealth of information and
Yeah,
just a
good.
wonderful opportunity.
Good.
A fantastic interview. What about people as far as, because you guys are a nonprofit, do you guys have any challenges when it comes to funding? Do you have, I know you said that you just don't have enough people to go around. So how can people help the most aside from?
Halo does accept donations, charitable donations. And then, and that's basically it, because we have a website. We do have a website that you can get on, and it'll explain to you. The website has a wealth of information on it, and it literally will explain what we do, our function, the goals we have, and that kind of thing.
And would you mind telling? I mean, it's going to probably be on. It'll definitely be on the link, but
humanandanimalinkofOklahoma.org.
oh, boom, easy.
So, yeah, and like I said, Terry Smith is our director, and she's willing to take phone calls, you know. And,
Awesome.
but you can email her and shoot and ask her questions and things like that.
Fantastic.
So we, like I said, we are a nonprofit. We do not get paid for our service. It's strictly volunteer. And that's the nice thing, is you can work it into your schedule,
Right.
which is really nice.
I know I have some close friends that are all about dogs, animals in general, that would probably jump at the opportunity to do this.
Well, they
and
ought to
love
think
it.
about it. They ought to think about it. Like I said, there's a lot of requests for us. Sometimes, like I was mentioned earlier, like at some of the facilities we go to, the hospitals in particular, they would love it if we could be there 24/7.
Right.
But we, you know, obviously
Right.
you can't. And so it's, yeah, they were like, tell people we want more therapy dogs. So, yeah.
Okay, well, I ask everybody this question just because I am a realtor, and hopefully somebody that's watching might want to move.
We're back on. We're back on. We're back on.
God. So, individuals that might be looking and watching, and they might want to live in your neighborhood, especially Tinker Air Force Base individuals, because they're coming in, they're going out, what have you. So, what is your favorite thing or favorite event that happens in your community that you love about your community?
Oh, gosh. Well, we've lived in Chimney Hill for 30 years. Is that right, Craig? 30 years. And it's been a great neighborhood. Neighbors are super friendly, very supportive of one another. I would say for me, I love our Liberty Fest on the 4th of July, which is a downtown event. And we also have a lot of, Haver Park is here. It's a beautiful park, and we have concerts there.
Oh, wow.
And cookouts, and and Herd on Herd is another event that's downtown, and it's a music fest, and they have food trucks, and that thing. And let me tell you, it started off. So it has taken off like crazy. The school system, Edmond Public Schools, are a good school system. Edmond is just growing and growing and growing. It's changed a lot since we first moved here. And but I love living here in Edmond. I highly recommend it if somebody wanted to come in. There's all price ranges of homes here.
Yeah.
There really is.
Yeah.
You know, so they're welcome to come check it out.
Okay. That's wonderful. Well, thank you so much again. This was a fantastic interview, guys. Please get in touch. Go to the website. The information will be down below, down there. And I hope you get out. And I hope that if you do get out there, that you share. Send us pics. I want to see. I want to see everybody that shows up with their dog, especially. And if there's an opportunity, I would love for you to come to an event that I'm doing, or one of the other charities that you guys already know that I'm involved with. So
all they have to do is reach out to Terry Smith if there's an event, and if she feels that it's right for us, you know, then she sends out an email blast to the members.
fantastic.
So, all right, great.
All right. Well, thank you. That was another
you.
30 for 30. God bless.
Thanks.